Time to answer some questions here on the Chiefs Report, and this one caught my eye, so we'll start with Tony here. I'm so excited for more live watch parties, and hey, that's why you subscribe to the channel, Tony, and the rest of you guys, because we're ramping up our coverage with training camp here, preseason around the corner. Subscribe to the channel for the latest Chiefs news, rumors, and updates as far as watch parties go. Just like last year, we'll do as many as we can. I've got other duties here at Chat Sports, but I bet we'll do one or two of the preseason games and then some of the regular season games as well. So subscribe, turn on those notifications so we have you guys covered throughout Chiefs training camp and, of course, on into the regular season as well. Don't miss any of it. And coming up, more of your questions and more of my answers here on the Chiefs Report. Welcome into the Chiefs Report. I am Harrison Graham. More questions to answer after Tony got things kicked off there as he's fired up for some watch parties, and I am also fired up for the regular season. All right, let's get into it here, starting with Ricky Garcia. What do you think the Chiefs' record will be? I did a way too early record prediction video when the schedule came out. I guess that was back in, April, May, somewhere in there. I think I had the Chiefs going 12-5, 13-4. I think somewhere in that range. I think the floor is like 10 wins, ceiling's probably like 14. They'll fall somewhere in there. I still think this is going to be a very good team. Schedule's tough. AFC West is tough. But this is still the team to beat in the AFC West. Alex Gomrick, do you think Justyn Ross will be stashed for a year to get healthy? Yeah, I've mentioned that a couple times. I do think an IR stash could make sense for everyone involved. It gives Justyn Ross a year with the best, physicians or some of the best in the world to rehab with these Chiefs doctors and trainers and, try to get his body as right as possible, right? If you guys don't know, he had foot surgery and is set to miss at least some time. Unclear how much time it will be. I don't think the Chiefs are in a rush to get him back, and Justyn Ross shouldn't be in a rush either. He's in a good situation. I think you could IR stash him. He still gets paid for this year, and then he gets to recover with the best in the world. And then hopefully next year he is able to come back, be healthy, and be a part of this thing. Now, that doesn't mean he couldn't get healthy later in camp and contribute this year, but, a lot of injury history. I would not rush him back if I was Kansas City. Clayton Grass, if the Chiefs wide receivers struggle during camp, could Kansas City sign Odell Beckham Jr.? So another wide receiver question here. Go back to the depth chart. I mean, look, a healthy OBJ is probably this team's number one, right? The way he played with the Rams, he looked like a number one again. Unclear when he's going to be back and healthy. I could see like mid-season, like week 5, week 6, if the Chiefs suffer an injury or if they need a boost at that position, go sign OBJ if he still hasn't signed with the team while he recovers from his ACL. I'm interested. I don't think they would sign him until he's healthy, though, so keep that in mind. Should the Chiefs sign Odell Beckham Jr.? What do you guys think? Type S for sign, type P for pass. I am interested in him. If he's healthy, I think he could provide this team a boost. Next up is Ice. You almost got me. Do you think the Chiefs will use Josh Gordon more if they keep him? If he makes the team, you got to think he's going to have a role, right? Because he's not going to contribute much, if at all, on special teams. So if he makes this roster, then I think they're going to have some plans for him. I'm hopeful that he can show something during the preseason. I think he's firmly on the roster bubble. Jay, who is the most likely wide receiver to lead in each category? Yards, receptions, touchdowns. Yards. Gosh. This is tough. I'm going to go with receptions with JuJu. Actually, yeah, JuJu. Yards, I'm going to go Scott. Gosh, this is tough. How about this? Touchdowns, Valdez-Scantling, because he's going to hit a lot of home runs over the top. So I could see him having like eight touchdowns. Don't think he'll lead in receptions or yards. How about this? Guy Moore in receptions, JuJu in yards. And then touchdowns is Valdez-Scantling. Just a guess, but I think it could play out like that. Terry Singleton, do you think the Chiefs are done in trades, going to stay with what they have in training camp? Maybe. I think they could still trade for a pass rusher, Terry. I think they're going to see what they got at defensive end in camp and reevaluate, and if they're like, yeah, we don't have enough there, maybe you go trade for a Robert Quinn, a Danielle Hunter, or someone else. I think that could be a possibility. I don't think they're going to trade for a DK Metcalf or a Deebo Samuel, but I could see them adding a pass rusher or potentially a corner if Rashad Fenton's injury lingers. We'll have to wait and see on that front. Be sure to follow us here on Rumble for more videos. We're also live and publishing our videos over there, rumble.com/ChiefsTV. Don't miss any of our coverage. If you've already subscribed on YouTube, another way to support is to go follow us on Rumble. Logan and Friends Vlogs. Do you think Julio will have a career year with Mahomes at QB instead of Big Ben? JuJu. Sorry, I read that as Julio. If he's healthy, JuJu should have one of the best years of his career. Maybe not as good as that 1,400-yard season he had back in, 2017, but he should be able to flirt with 1,000 yards. Now, targets are going to go everywhere. It's going to be more spread out, but I do think that JuJu has an opportunity to kind of hit that reset button after a couple of down years and, kind of reestablish himself as a high-level player. KLB, will Josh Gordon make the Chiefs roster? Another Gordon question. I said it earlier, I'll say it again. I think Gordon is firmly on the bubble. I have him probably as like wide receiver 5 right now, but we'll see. The problem with him is he doesn't offer much on special teams. He may have to prove that he can play special teams to make this roster. He needs a strong camp really badly, needs to show out in the preseason. We'll see if he's able to do that. We'll ask you guys, will Josh Gordon make the final 53-man roster? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I do think Justyn Ross getting banged up probably helps him a little bit, get someone out of the way for now. We'll have to wait and see. Y for yes or N for no. Aziz, do you think Kennard will start? Darian Kennard, the only way he starts is if Orlando Brown and Lucas Niang aren't there week 1, which I think Brown will be. We'll see on Niang. And even if Niang's not, it's probably more likely veteran Andrew Wiley would get the initial start at right tackle. We'll see what happens with Kennard. I think he, ideally this year, he's like your swing lineman. He's your number 6-0 lineman, can play tackle if someone gets hurt, can play guard if someone gets hurt. And then maybe next year he has a starting role. So we'll see. I think it's possible, but I don't think he'll be a week 1 starter. Cole Keller, will you be doing live streams for the preseason game against the Bears? Granted, it's only preseason. Also, which channel? Bears or Chiefs? I know you cover both. Like Cole says, I do cover both. Unclear what the plan is. I honestly don't know. I'll either simulcast on both or go live on one of the channels. Either way, you guys will be able to watch me. So we'll have a plan in place. Stay tuned, subscribe, and we'll have that figured out in the next couple weeks. Tim Carr, who will be the biggest impact rookie? If you had to ask me today, I'll say Trent McDuffie because Rashad Fenton's still banged up with a shoulder injury. And I'm just not sure if George Karlaftis is ready for a major role yet. Sky Moore could be that guy, but I'll say Trent McDuffie. Last question on this mailbag. Alex Gomerick, do you think Leo Chenal will be our starting Sam linebacker? I think he can have a huge impact on our defense this year. I don't know about huge, but I do think he's got the inside track to be that third backer, which means he'll play the Sam in 4-3 schemes. He'll be out there. Maybe he's out there in some blitz packages too. He did have 8 sacks last year for Wisconsin. So, yeah, I'm excited about him. I think he could be kind of a wild card rookie that contributes a decent amount. Appreciate all the questions on this first mailbag. This is why you subscribe to the channel, because on Mondays, every Monday from here on out, as we bring back our live shows, we go live, we answer your questions just like the ones just now. So subscribe, join us every week so you can be a part of our mailbags.